My dear sisters, strength in Islam is not loud, aggressive, or hardened by pain. True strength is quiet, rooted, and unshakable because it comes from Allah alone. Many women today are exhausted not because they are weak, but because they are trying to carry life without anchoring themselves to the one who created them. You were not created to survive on self-love alone. You were created to thrive through tawakkul, sabr, and deep connection with Allah. If you feel tired, broken, or lost, this is not a sign that you are failing. This is a sign that Allah is inviting you to rebuild yourself correctly. Today, we are not talking about becoming strong in the eyes of people. We are talking about becoming strong through Allah, so that no storm, no rejection, no delay, and no hardship can break you again. 1. Strength begins when you stop relying on people and start relying on Allah. My dear sister, one of the deepest reasons many women feel emotionally exhausted, anxious, or constantly disappointed is because their hearts are leaning on people for safety, reassurance, love, and stability that only Allah can truly give. From a young age, we are taught, sometimes without realizing it, to look to others for our sense of worth and security. We expect family to always understand us, friends to never change, spouses to fill every emotional gap, and society to validate our sacrifices. But human beings were never created to carry that kind of weight. They are limited, imperfect, and constantly changing, just like us. When you place your emotional safety in people, your heart becomes vulnerable to every shift in their behavior. A kind word makes you feel whole, while a cold response makes you feel broken. Someone staying makes you feel secure, while someone leaving makes you feel abandoned. Over time, this creates a fragile heart that is always on edge, always afraid of loss, rejection, or disappointment. This is not weakness of character, it is a misplaced dependence. You are asking human beings to play the role that belongs to Allah alone. Allah, in His wisdom and mercy, teaches us tawakkul, complete reliance on Him. Tawakkul does not mean you stop loving people or trusting them at all. It means your heart understands its foundation. You love people, but you do not anchor your peace to them. You appreciate them, but you do not depend on them for your sense of worth. You try your best in relationships, but you accept that outcomes are in Allah's hands. When your heart learns this balance, it becomes steady instead of fragile. When you begin to rely on Allah, something powerful happens inside you. You stop breaking every time someone disappoints you because you are never relying on them to hold you together. You stop collapsing when plans fail because you trust that Allah's plan is better, even when you do not understand it yet. You stop chasing reassurance from people because you already feel seen, known, and valued by your Creator. Your heart becomes calmer because it is attached to the one who never changes, never leaves, and never betrays. Allah does not promise you a life without loss, but He promises that He will never abandon you. He may delay, He may test, He may redirect, but He never withholds out of cruelty. Every delay carries wisdom. Every closed door carries protection. When you truly internalize this, your reactions to life change. You still feel pain, but it does not destroy you. You still feel sadness, but it does not empty you. You grieve, but you do not lose hope. A woman who relies on Allah walks through life with a quiet strength and calm dignity. She is not desperate for approval, not terrified of being alone, and not shattered by rejection. Even if the entire world misunderstands her, she knows Allah understands her intentions. Even if people walk away, she knows Allah remains closer to her than her own heartbeat. This certainty does not make her cold or distant. It makes her grounded, emotionally secure, and spiritually strong. This is the kind of strength that cannot be shaken by people, circumstances, or time, because it is built on Allah, and Allah is always enough. 2. A strong woman knows her worth is defined by Allah, not society. My dear sister, one of the most silent yet destructive pressures placed on women today is the constant demand to prove their worth to the world. Society measures you by your appearance, your relationship status, your productivity, your success, your obedience, and even your pain. If you are married, you are judged by your marriage. If you are single, you are questioned. If you speak, you are criticized. If you stay silent, you are overlooked. Slowly, without realizing it, many women begin to believe that their value rises and falls based on people's opinions. This is how emotional exhaustion begins. Islam frees you from this burden completely. Your worth was never meant to be negotiated by society. Allah defined your value before anyone ever looked at you, spoke about you, or formed an opinion about you. The moment Allah created you, He honored you as His servant. Your worth does not increase when people praise you, and it does not decrease when they misunderstand you. It is constant, protected, and anchored in Allah alone. When a woman does not understand this, she spends her life chasing validation. She over-explains herself. She overgives. She tolerates disrespect. She stays silent when she should speak and speaks when she should walk away. Not because she is weak, but because she is trying to be accepted. This constant need to be approved slowly drains her confidence and steals her peace. She begins to doubt herself every time someone criticizes her and feels broken every time she is not chosen. A strong woman, however, has clarity. She understands that people's opinions are shaped by their own wounds, expectations, and limitations. She knows that society's standards change constantly, but Allah's standard never changes. Allah looks at her heart, her intentions, her patience, her struggles, and her sincerity. He sees her efforts even when no one thanks her. He records her sacrifices even when people overlook them. When this belief settles deeply in the heart, it transforms how a woman moves through life. She no longer competes with other women because she knows her risk, her timing, and her path are written specifically for her. She no longer compares herself because she understands that comparison is a distraction from gratitude. She no longer feels small around confident people because her confidence comes from knowing who she belongs to. This inner certainty creates emotional strength. Criticism no longer destroys her. Rejection no longer defines her. Delays no longer make her feel unworthy. Knowing your worth through Allah also teaches you boundaries. You stop allowing people to treat you carelessly. You stop begging for love, attention, or respect. You give with sincerity, but you do not empty yourself to prove your value. You walk away from environments that harm your faith or dignity, not out of pride, but out of self-respect rooted in Islam. This is not arrogance. This is understanding amana, the trust Allah placed in you to protect your heart, mind, and soul. A woman who knows her worth through Allah carries herself differently. There is calm in her presence. There is dignity in her silence. There is strength in her decisions. Even on days when she feels insecure or tired, she returns to Allah and reminds herself, I am enough because Allah chose me as His servant. This belief becomes a shield against societal pressure, toxic expectations, and emotional manipulation. My dear sister, when your worth comes from Allah, no one can take it away. Not rejection, not failure, not age, not loneliness, not criticism. You stop shrinking to fit into places that were never meant for you. You stand firm not because the world approves of you, but because Allah already does. This is the kind of strength that makes a woman unshakable, because it is built on truth, not opinion. 3. Strength is built through sabr, not comfort. My dear sister, many women believe that strength comes from a life filled with ease, stability, and comfort. But Allah teaches us something far deeper. Comfort does not build strength, sabr does. If strength were born from ease alone, then every comfortable heart would be strong, and every tested heart would be broken. Yet, we see the opposite. Some of the strongest women you will ever meet are those who have walked through hardship while holding tightly to their faith. This is because Allah uses difficulty as a tool of growth, not as a punishment. Sabr in Islam is not about silence or helpless waiting. It is active patience, a conscious decision to trust Allah while continuing to do what is right. When Allah places a woman in a difficult situation, He is not abandoning her, He is shaping her. Every delay teaches discipline. Every loss teaches detachment. Every hardship teaches reliance. Through sabr, your heart learns to stand firm instead of panicking, and your soul learns to remain calm instead of collapsing. When life becomes comfortable, the nafs becomes relaxed, and the heart often forgets Allah. But when life becomes difficult, the heart turns back to Him sincerely. This is why Allah allows discomfort. He wants to bring you closer, not push you away. Many women only discover their strength during moments they never wanted to experience. They realize they are capable of surviving what they once feared would destroy them. This realization does not come from comfort. It comes from sabr. A woman who practices sabr stops asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and starts asking, "What is Allah teaching me through this?" This shift in perspective changes everything. Instead of feeling like a victim of circumstances, she begins to see herself as a student of life, guided by Allah. She understands that hardship is temporary, but the reward of patience is eternal. Allah promises that those who are patient will be rewarded without measure, a reward beyond what the mind can comprehend. Sabr also protects a woman from making decisions driven by emotion. When pain arrives, impatience pushes people to react quickly, speak harshly, or choose paths they later regret. Sabr creates space between emotion and action. It allows a woman to pause, breathe, and remember Allah before responding. This emotional discipline strengthens her character and preserves her dignity even in moments of deep stress. Through sabr, a woman's faith matures. She learns that Allah's timing is perfect even when it feels slow. She learns that unanswered du'as are not rejections but redirections. She learns that hardship does not mean Allah is displeased, and ease does not always mean Allah is pleased. This understanding removes the fear of trials and replaces it with trust. She no longer sees hardship as the end of the road, but as a bridge leading her toward growth and closeness to Allah. My dear sister, strength built through sabr is unshakable because it is rooted in faith, not circumstances. Comfort can disappear overnight, but sabr remains with you wherever you go. A woman who has learned patience through Allah does not break easily. She bends, she learns, and she rises stronger than before. This is the kind of strength that carries you through storms without losing yourself, because you know that Allah is with you in every step of the journey. 4. Emotional strength comes from controlling the nafs, not reacting to everything. My dear sister, one of the greatest misunderstandings about strength is the belief that expressing every emotion, reacting to every situation, and responding to every provocation is a sign of honesty or courage. In reality, this constant emotional reaction weakens the heart and exhausts the soul. Islam teaches us that true emotional strength is not found in reacting quickly, but in controlling the nafs with wisdom, faith, and self-discipline. A woman who reacts to everything gives her peace away too easily, allowing people and circumstances to control her inner world. The nafs naturally wants immediate expression. It wants to defend itself, prove itself, explain itself, and be seen as right. When someone hurts you, the nafs wants to respond instantly. When someone disrespects you, it wants to retaliate. When someone misunderstands you, it wants to argue. But Allah teaches us that not every battle deserves your energy, and not every moment requires your voice. Emotional control is not suppression, it is selection. You choose what deserves your attention and what does not. A woman who has not learned to control her nafs often lives in emotional exhaustion. Her mood rises and falls based on how people treat her. A kind word lifts her, a harsh comment breaks her, and a small disagreement ruins her entire day. This constant emotional fluctuation creates inner chaos. It makes her anxious, reactive, and restless. Islam offers a different path. It teaches calmness, restraint, and inner authority. When you control your nafs, you stop being a prisoner of your emotions and become a guardian of your peace. The Prophet ﷺ taught us that the strongest person is not the one who defeats others physically, but the one who controls themselves when angry. This teaching is especially powerful for women because emotions are often used against them. Society labels emotional discipline as weakness, but Islam defines it as strength. When you pause instead of reacting, you are not losing. You are protecting your dignity. When you remain silent instead of arguing, you are not defeated. You are choosing peace over ego. Controlling the nafs does not mean you accept dhulm or tolerate abuse. Islam never asks a woman to remain silent in the face of oppression. There is a difference between responding with wisdom and reacting with emotion. A strong woman knows when to speak firmly and when to walk away quietly. She knows when silence is worship and when speaking up is necessary. This discernment comes from a heart connected to Allah, not from impulse or anger. As you learn to control your nafs, your emotional reactions begin to change. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself to everyone. You stop proving your worth to people who have already decided how they see you. You stop engaging in arguments that drain your energy and damage your heart. Instead, you turn inward and upward. You seek Allah's approval rather than people's validation. This shift brings an incredible sense of freedom and emotional stability. Controlling the nafs also teaches patience with yourself. You stop judging yourself harshly for feeling emotions and instead learn how to process them in a healthy, halal way. You cry in dua instead of lashing out. You seek counsel instead of exploding. You reflect instead of reacting. Over time, this practice builds emotional resilience. Situations that once triggered you no longer hold the same power. Words that once wounded you deeply now pass without shaking your core. My dear sister, a woman who controls her nafs walks through life with quiet authority. She is not loud, but she is strong. She is not reactive, but she is deeply aware. She does not allow her emotions to control her decisions, and she does not allow people to steal her peace. Her strength comes from Allah, her discipline comes from faith, and her calmness becomes her protection. This is the kind of emotional strength that keeps a woman steady in chaos and dignified in difficulty, because she has learned that her power lies not in reacting, but in mastering herself for the sake of Allah. 5. A woman becomes strong when she builds a deep relationship with the Quran. My dear sister, many women search for strength in motivational words, self-help advice, and constant reminders from people, yet their hearts still feel heavy and unsettled. This is because true strength is not sustained by temporary inspiration. It is sustained by divine guidance. The Quran was not revealed only to be recited with the tongue, but to be absorbed by the heart and lived through the soul. When a woman builds a real relationship with the Quran, she begins to see life differently, and that shift changes everything inside her. The Quran gives perspective in moments of pain. When you read the stories of the prophets and righteous women, you realize that struggle is not a sign of failure or Allah's anger. It is part of the human journey. You learn that even the most beloved servants of Allah were tested deeply, misunderstood, abandoned, and hurt. This realization removes the loneliness of hardship. You stop feeling singled out by pain and begin to understand that Allah is refining you just as He refined those before you. A woman who regularly returns to the Quran develops emotional resilience. When anxiety rises, the Quran calms her heart. When sadness settles in, the Quran reminds her that ease follows hardship. When confusion overwhelms her, the Quran brings clarity and direction. These are not empty words, they are promises from Allah Himself. Over time, her heart learns where to go for comfort. Instead of seeking reassurance from people, she seeks peace from Allah's words, and that peace is deeper and longer lasting. Building a relationship with the Quran does not require perfection or deep scholarly knowledge. It begins with sincerity. It begins when a woman opens the Quran not to rush through pages, but to listen. She reads slowly, reflects deeply, and asks Allah to speak to her heart through His words. Even a few verses, when read with presence, can change the way she carries herself throughout the day. The Quran becomes her anchor, not just a ritual. As the Quran becomes part of her life, her reactions soften and her perspective matures. She becomes less reactive because the Quran teaches patience. She becomes less fearful because the Quran constantly reminds her that Allah is in control. She becomes less attached to the dunya because the Quran places the akhirah in clear focus. This does not make her disconnected from life. It makes her grounded. She lives fully, but she is no longer enslaved by temporary outcomes. The Quran also strengthens a woman's identity. In a world that constantly pressures her to become something else, the Quran reminds her who she already is. A servant of Allah, honored, guided, and protected. This clarity builds confidence without arrogance and humility without insecurity. She no longer feels lost because she carries divine guidance within her. When she makes decisions, she consults the Quran's principles, not people's opinions. My dear sister, the woman who walks with the Quran is never truly alone. Even in silence, Allah's words speak to her heart. Even in darkness, the Quran provides light. Even in moments of weakness, the Quran lifts her spirit and strengthens her faith. This relationship does not remove hardship from her life, but it gives her the strength to face hardship without losing herself. When the Quran becomes your companion, your heart becomes steady, your faith becomes firm, and your strength becomes rooted in Allah. 6. True strength is letting go when Allah asks you to let go. My dear sister, one of the most painful yet powerful forms of strength a woman can develop is the ability to let go when Allah is clearly asking her to release something from her life. Letting go is difficult because the heart becomes attached. It becomes attached to people, dreams, routines, and versions of the future we carefully imagined. Even when something begins to hurt us, we often hold on because familiarity feels safer than uncertainty. But Islam teaches us that not everything we love is good for us, and not everything that leaves us is a loss. When Allah removes something from your life, it is never random. Sometimes He removes people who distract you from Him. Sometimes He removes situations that quietly damage your self-worth. Sometimes He closes doors you were praying would open, not to punish you, but to protect you. The pain of letting go comes from our limited understanding. We see only the loss, while Allah sees the harm we were being saved from and the growth that awaits us ahead. Many women struggle with letting go because they fear emptiness. They fear being alone, starting over, or facing life without what once gave them comfort. This fear is natural, but it is also rooted in the belief that what you lost was your source of stability. True strength emerges when you realize that Allah was always your source, not what He removed. When this realization settles in your heart, letting go becomes an act of trust rather than despair. Letting go does not mean pretending something did not matter. Islam does not ask you to suppress pain or deny attachment. It allows you to grieve, reflect, and heal. But it also teaches you not to cling to what Allah has already taken away. Holding on mentally and emotionally to what is no longer written for you only prolongs suffering. Letting go is not forgetting. It is accepting Allah's decree with humility and faith. A woman who learns to let go gains incredible emotional strength. She stops chasing what is not meant for her. She stops forcing relationships, outcomes, and timelines. She learns to surrender control while still making effort. This balance between effort and acceptance creates inner peace. She no longer sees endings as failures, but as transitions guided by Allah. Every ending becomes a doorway to something more aligned with her faith and growth. When you let go for the sake of Allah, He replaces what you lost in ways you could never imagine. Sometimes He replaces it with something better. Sometimes He replaces it with something lighter. Sometimes He replaces it with inner peace, which is more valuable than anything you are holding on to. Allah promises that whoever leaves something for His sake, He will replace it with something better. This promise is real, even if its fulfillment takes time. My dear sister, true strength is not gripping tightly to what hurts you. It is trusting Allah enough to open your hands and let Him lead you forward. When you release what Allah asks you to release, your heart becomes lighter, your faith becomes stronger, and your future becomes clearer. Letting go does not make you weak. It makes you free, and that freedom is a gift from Allah to those who trust Him completely. My dear sister, strength in Islam is not about becoming hard, guarded, or emotionally distant. It is about becoming deeply rooted in Allah, so that nothing in this world can shake your foundation. Every principle you have heard today points to one truth. When Allah becomes the center of your life, everything else finds its proper place. You stop relying on people to carry your heart. You stop allowing society to define your worth. You stop fearing hardship because you understand its purpose. You stop reacting emotionally because you have learned self-control. You stop feeling lost because the Quran becomes your guide. And you stop clinging to what hurts you because you trust Allah's wisdom more than your own attachment. Building a new you does not happen overnight. It is a quiet process, shaped through dua, patience, reflection, and sincere effort. Some days you will feel strong, and other days you will feel weak. But even on the days you feel weak, Allah is still strengthening you in ways you cannot yet see. Every tear you shed in dua is recorded. Every moment of restraint is rewarded. Every step you take toward Allah is met with mercy and closeness. My dear sister, you were not created to be broken by life. You were created to rise through faith. When your strength comes from Allah, rejection will not destroy you, loneliness will not empty you, and hardship will not define you. You will walk through this world with calm dignity, knowing that Allah is with you in every moment. Build a new you through Allah, and you will become the kind of woman who is not easily shaken, not easily lost, and never truly alone. May Allah make you among the women who are strong through Him, patient in trials, firm in faith, and honored in this world and the next.